Welcome back to Chapter 5 of the 0 to 1K Email Marketing Blueprint. In this episode, titled Irresistible Subject Lines, Proven Formulas for Opens, we're diving into the art of crafting subject lines that grab attention and boost your open rates. You'll learn 3 powerful formulas: curiosity, benefit, and personal, that will help your emails stand out in crowded inboxes. So, let's get started. About half the emails in your inbox were opened or ignored because of just a few words. Not the design, not the offer, the subject line. In the next few minutes, we'll pull apart why some lines slice through the noise while others die in the preview pane. 41 characters. That's the average length of top quartile subject lines across millions of sends. Not cleverness, not creativity, just a brutally tight constraint that forces clarity. Add one more constraint. The inbox now shows a preview line that quietly acts like a second headline, and when it's dialed in, opens jump another 5 to 20%. So instead of asking, "Is this catchy?" the better question is, does this tiny combo of subject plus preview give one specific person a reason to care right now? This is where things get interesting. You're no longer just writing a hook. You're negotiating with filters, devices, and a busy human brain all at once. A single word can push you into spam. A first name can lift opens double digits. Even using "re" can spike curiosity, while quietly torching your long-term reputation if you abuse it. We're going to turn those invisible forces into a checklist you can actually use. Here's the twist. Most people obsess over the perfect subject line, but top senders treat it like an evolving hypothesis. They don't ask, "Is this good?" They ask, "What about this will my reader recognize as for them?" That's where the 3 pillars show up in practice: clear value, honest curiosity, and technical hygiene. Each send becomes a small experiment in balancing those. Like a chef tuning seasoning, they adjust urgency, specificity, and personalization in tiny increments, then let the data, not ego, decide what actually earns attention in a crowded inbox. Think of the 3 pillars as constraints on how you write, and now we'll dig into what you actually put in those 41-ish characters. Start with specificity. Vague promises like "big news inside" rarely outperform precise, grounded benefit. Cut your churn by 12% in 30 days, or 3 scripts to book 2x more demos. The more concrete the outcome, the easier it is for a busy reader to decide, "That's for me." Specifics can be about numbers, time, format, or audience segment. Numbers: 7 swipeable hooks for your next launch. Time: a 10-minute fix for stalled campaigns. Format: template, Q1 board-ready email report. Segment: for agencies handling 10-plus client accounts. Next, layer in authentic curiosity. Instead of baiting, you're creating a gap between what the reader knows and what they want to know, then closing that gap in the email. Patterns that work. The campaign we almost didn't send and why it won. Why our best subject line lost by 32% in testing. One change that cut unsubscribes on promo emails. Notice each suggests a story or lesson with an implied payoff. Urgency is another dial, but it's easy to overdo. Earned urgency comes from real constraints: deadlines, limited capacity, or decaying benefits. Compare. Fake: last chance, don't miss out. Grounded: closes tonight, 12 spots for Q2 list audit. Time-sensitive insight: before Monday, fix this deliverability leak. Tie urgency to a clear "why now," not just a countdown. Preview text is where you can extend or balance the subject. If the subject is benefit-driven, use the preview to add context or reduce risk. Subject: 3 scripts to revive dead leads. Preview: copy-paste templates, tested on 4,327 cold prospects. If the subject leans into curiosity, let the preview reassure. Subject: the campaign we almost killed. Preview. It broke our best practices and 3x replies anyway. Psychological triggers work best in pairs. For example, specific plus social proof. Email that added 41K in 48 hours. Personalization plus curiosity. First name, I stole this from your top competitor. Urgency plus risk reversal. Enroll by Friday, backed by 90-day ROI check. Behind all of this is one discipline, mapping each email to a single reader moment. Person A, in situation B, wanting outcome C. The more crisply you can state that before you write, the more those 41 characters write themselves. Here's where this gets fun. Once you've mapped that person A, situation B, outcome C, you can treat your inbox data like a weather report, not a verdict. One cloudy campaign doesn't mean your strategy is broken. It's a pattern you're watching roll in over several sends. To make that pattern visible, build small families of lines around a single email. One family leans on a bold claim, another on a question, another on a story hint. For a training invite, you might test, steal our Q2 launch calendar, how we filled 3 webinars in 9 days, and workshop, fix the leak in your launch funnel. Same destination, 3 different doors. Then, track how these families perform by segment. You'll often find founders, operators, and marketing teams respond to entirely different doors for the same content. That's your cue to keep the email body stable while rotating lines per segment, turning one asset into multiple high-performing sends without burning your list. Inbox algorithms will increasingly reward patterns, not one-off wins, so think in terms of careers, not hits. Over months, your lines will teach the system who consistently satisfies readers. That changes your job from guessing to steering. Nudge behavior with sequences, themes, and seasonal arcs. For example, run a month of behind-the-scenes angles, then a month of quick-win angles, and compare. Over time, you're not just lifting opens, you're training your own lane in the inbox. Treat each send like a mini clinical trial. Form a hypothesis, ship 2 or 3 variations, and let the data surprise you. Over time, you'll spot symptoms of fatigue, curiosity, or trust in your list, and adjust your language like a skilled diagnostician, refining not just opens, but the long-term health of your relationship. Start with this tiny habit. When you're about to hit send on an email, pause and quickly rewrite just the subject line using one proven formula from the episode, like, how to desired result without pain. For example, change Newsletter February to how to double your open rates without sending more emails. Each day, pick a different formula from the episode and only tweak that one subject line before sending. This way you're improving in 10 seconds without adding any extra projects to your plate. This was Owl Up, your daily step forward. This series continues with more chapters on owlup.co. Visit owlup.co to access the complete course and continue your learning journey. See you there!